What is going on YouTube? Heather back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XRP to US dollar. We're also going to be looking at DueDEX as well as the current coin market cap. Specifically in regards to the technical analysis, the past couple of days, we've seen some extremely alarming things on the market, specifically within Bitcoin, Litecoin, and some of the other cryptocurrencies, especially XRP2 actually blasting through its resistance at 20 cents and now currently retesting its middle moving average higher at 21 cents. That is absolutely amazing. It actually pumped much quicker than we had anticipated. We were expecting XRP to have broken closer to the resistance, closer to the apex around May 6th when we actually broke today, April 28th. So about 8 days or 9 days longer than what we had earlier than what we had expected. Basically in today's video, I want to figure out whether or not this movement here is going to be reflected in the other cryptocurrencies or whether or not we're going to see a different movement like some of you guys have been discussing. You can see there has been a ton of uncertainty within Litecoin, and this is what I would like to discuss with you guys later on in today's video. Otherwise, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up. Remember, this does help the YouTube algorithm, so I do appreciate it. And if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can DM me on Twitter at CryptoVOfficial. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. So, yesterday we discussed some very interesting movements. Yesterday's video we discussed it's happening, that we are getting ready for that big movement in the price. Obviously, as you can see in the thumbnail, I drew that we were correcting lower and then expecting to see a bullish break to the upside. Now, some of the cryptos actually decided, or specifically XRP, decided to break bullish earlier than the drop that we had anticipated. But I want to show you guys a very interesting theory that I have figured out as to whether or not we're going to be seeing that movement. Now, before I go on any further, guys, there's literally 3 days left. 3 days, not 2, not 1, not 10, not 20, but 3 days left in the free $200 crypto influencers Bitcoin giveaway. This is something that I specifically am hosting, as you can see, Crypto TV. And with 3 days left, that means you only have a little bit left to enter the giveaway. It is completely free to enter, and it's literally my way to give back to you guys for supporting the channel as we approach 15,000 subscribers. That's absolutely amazing. So definitely make sure to click that link in the description. There's 5 ways to get entered into the giveaway. They're all free. Definitely check it out, subscribe, do everything you got to do because when the 3 days hit, I'll probably make a live video and we will, do the giveaway. So huge things to come. Otherwise, to move on to the technical analysis, as you guys can see, some very interesting things we have to discuss. So obviously, majority of the crypto is literally just trading sideways except for Ethereum, except for XRP, which is actually up 8%. We have to discuss this. All the other cryptocurrencies, as you can see, are literally flatlined, no volume, no movement, literally just trading sideways. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP was. We see Bitcoin Cash doing the same thing, Litecoin doing the same thing, Binance Coin, all of them. Everything is literally flatlined out completely, and then XRP decided to break bullish. But what I want to show you guys is something that's fairly interesting with my predictions. Now, just to dive right into this, I am fairly confident in the fact that we're probably going to see a correction to the downside, a very small one at that, followed by an even bigger movement to the upside, a bullish break. And the reason being is for a couple of things. Now, maybe XRP was slightly behind the rest of the market, so this bullish break actually caught itself up to it. But as you can see with XRP, we are currently just about to become overbought on the daily. And then if we look at the 4-hour, we are extremely overbought. So XRP is out of the drawing for a pump to the upside, at least in my opinion. I don't think XRP is going to head higher. Then we swing on to Litecoin. Litecoin, on the other hand, if we look at its 4-hour, is flatlined out on the 50 RSI. Plenty of room to move sideways. You can see we have not seen any volume in the past couple of days, and we're starting to approach a bullish cross on the MACD, as you can see right here. That's actually a reason to break higher, which is still a possibility. I'm going to cover all angles, but I'm fairly confident now that we could see a break to the downside. But with that being said, obviously we have to cover each end in case, we flip to break bullish and we don't break bearish. But when we look at Litecoin on the daily, you can see the amount of uncertainty. We can see that as we hang out and approach this resistance at 44.79 day after day after day, it becomes stronger. It becomes a stronger resistance, and there's more reason to break bearish and fall down. With us being trading at 54 on the RSI on the daily, it gives us plenty of room to go bullish too, and it still is a possibility. And we'll look at Bitcoin to figure out exactly which direction we go to. Now, obviously, Litecoin is important, but I don't specifically trade Litecoin just yet because I don't have the option to short. But with this uncertainty, this means that we are going to be breaking very soon. Obviously, I can't predict and tell you guys, the confidence that you want, okay, we're going to break bullish. That's what's going to happen. I can't make that call. And that's really not what you should be doing in a market like this, because in reality, it's a 50-50 shot. And with the availability of shorting cryptocurrency like we have on DueDEX, it really doesn't matter which direction the market wants to move, because we could take advantage of either way. Now, obviously, we know that if we can break above the $45 resistance, there's a good chance we're going to break higher to the $46 resistance, and then maybe with that extra volume we shoot up even higher. So you could easily put on a limit order closer to 45. You just have to be fairly weary due to the fact that we've had wicks that have closed before the past 3 days, if not 4 days. So it's kind of a little shaky with Litecoin. I know most of you guys aren't even trading that, so there's not much to worry about. But when you add XRP being extremely overbought, retesting its middle moving average with not much more room to head up even higher, is a good chance XRP is going to flatten out lower. It could even wick all the way down below 20 cents. It's definitely possible. And with that correction to the downside, it could, pull Litecoin down with it. And with that comes the fact that we're probably going to see it come down to support and consolidate out as we originally planned. Now we move on to Bitcoin. Bitcoin yesterday did retest its resistance, which was great, but you can see it is currently breaking bearish from its resistance here. So when you add in this, and then you also add in its, competitor, its currencies that are fairly similar in terms of like the top 10 cryptocurrencies, with XRP trading at number 3, it's a fairly good thing that we consider all these cryptos, because they do trade fairly similar. So when you have XRP hitting a resistance, currently overbought, you have Litecoin fairly uncertain with the market, then you add Bitcoin, which is currently retesting its resistance and it's forming a bearish candle, there's a good chance we could anticipate that correction to the downside. It looks like we're going to do that. It looks like it wants to pull back down to here and then break bullish. That's what I'm expecting it to do. And if it does do that, it's going to definitely, form an even bigger bullish break to the upside than we expected. If it just broke from here, it wouldn't really go that high due to the fact that most of these cryptos are overbought to begin with. So there is a good chance we'll see that consolidation, then break bullish. Ethereum, once again, very high, closer to its RSI than Bitcoin is, and you can see being number 2 on the cryptocurrency coin market cap following Bitcoin, there's a good chance Ethereum is hitting its resistance and going to see a correction to the downside. Now, obviously, it looks like the bulls are winning here, so there is a chance it could break higher. It's definitely a possibility, but with now the 3rd day of us testing the $200 resistance on its daily chart, and with the fact that these look very uncertain, there's a very high percentage that we consolidate down and then break bullish. It's really what the market looks like it wants. Now, you guys can leave your opinions down below, as long as they're fairly positive, even if it's in regards to a correction to the downside. As long as they're positive, go for it. But I would say about 80% that we're going to see that correction to the downside. It opens us up for shorting positions, and then there's a 20% will just break bullish here. Obviously, what you can do if you look at Bitcoin and not trade Litecoin or Ethereum for right now, but for Bitcoin specifically, because we can short and buy long, obviously anything I would say above $7,800 is a bullish signal to break higher. If you want to set it maybe closer to $7,900, you set up a limit order closer to 79 for a long to 8,000. It's definitely something you guys can do. And then vice versa, you could set up a position closer to $7,600 even for a short to the downside. Obviously, just pay attention to the market, and there's a good chance it will short from 76 all the way down to 74, or even 73.50 for that matter. But then I would sell out immediately, because I do think we're going to correct up even higher. And all this can be taken advantage of. I want to give a huge shout out to everybody supporting me on my Patreon. We almost have 70 people on there, so huge shout out to you. That's basically where I'm going to be putting my trades as this market gets very close to its apex. You guys want to be fairly consistent and insightful on my Patreon, because that is where I'm going to be posting some very quick trades. It's much quicker to get you guys this information on my Patreon rather than on YouTube, because I have to do all the exporting and uploading and editing. So make sure you check out that. And in regards to shorting this, definitely make sure you're on DueDEX. There's a link in the description for you guys to sign up completely free. And I do believe they're offering sign-up bonuses, so check that out as well. But as we get closer, we want to prepare ourselves to either buy long or sell short. You can obviously have one of these floating around, but we can easily set up a limit order above 7,800, and it will only fill when we do retest that. So closer to $7,900. Literally, you go to limit order, you put in the price that you want, which is 7,900, or you can do 7,950 if you want to. You put in the quantity. Since we're leverage trading 10 times and we have about half a Bitcoin, we could easily do like 6,000 if we wanted to dollars. It's totally up to you. That's leverage trading off of it, so we're not actually using that amount, but that gives us a notional value of 0.759 that we're using, that's available. Obviously there's more risk like this. We could easily do 1,000, but usually when you're leverage trading, you're not going to really trade around with $100 or $400. You could, but it's kind of a waste of using leverage trade. So you could set it for 6,000 using a leverage of 10 times, giving us a notional value of 0.7, and then you would buy long, anticipating that the price breaks through here, and it will only fill if the coin itself retests $7,900. Otherwise it's not going to fill and you're not going to lose any money. On the other side, you could also put a short closer to, I would say 70, you could do 76. I'd probably do 75, or let's see, $7,600 looks good. I would do 75.80, and then you would just literally click sell short when the time approaches, and you would do 65.80, I believe that's what we discussed. So if we look 60 or 75.80, so you put in 75.80, boom, quantity, same thing, and then you sell short, and you click that button, and it's that simple. And if you guys want to take advantage, you can even use stop losses on the risk manager feature over here. But otherwise, that's going to wrap up today's video. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up. It helps out the YouTube algorithm. Follow me on Twitter if you have any questions, comments, or concerns at CryptoVOfficial. And then remember to register for the giveaway. Get involved in the giveaway. 3 days left. You want to be in it to win it. And I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace.